Nobody is talking about it, but the Detroit Pistons have had a pretty solid offseason. Now, they haven't made any huge splashes, but what they have done is get Cade Cunningham a lot of help. And by help, I mean shooters. Tobias Harris, Tim Hardaway Jr., Malik Beasley, all great shooters. Maybe they weren't the most efficient this year. Ron Holland in the draft is interesting. They had their guards for the future. They had their bigs, and they needed wings. So they bring in three pretty good shooters. Ron Holland, super athlete that they can develop. And then they bring back Fontecchio, which we will talk about as well later on. But first, let's get started with Ron Holland, who at 5, interesting pick, but I do think it will pay off. 20.6 points a game, 6.6 rebounds, 3.2 assists, 2.5 steals. He's got very, very good two-way upside. The bad part is he shot 44% from the field and 24% from three on 3.6 attempts. So he's definitely a project shooter at the least. But his measurables are great. He's 6'8" with a 6'11" wingspan and can handle the rock, 205 pounds. He's got a lightning quick first step. Watch right here. He just gets the corner and uses his body to shield off the defender for the easy layup. Once again, getting right downhill, tough little lean away off glass. It's really nice. And then in transition, nice little hesitation move. And then he gets to the rim, finishes with the inside hand. Crazy good athlete as well. I mean, watch this. You don't see this in transition very often. Rocking the baby. And then, they also have Asuar Thompson. So they have the potential to have the most athletic wing combination in the league. Asuar averaged 8.8 points, 6.4 rebounds, 2 assists. However, he can't shoot for nothing either. He couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat from the three-point line last year. 19% is crazy. But he is a freakish athlete, so you got to give him credit for that. I mean, he dunks on pretty much everybody that he comes up against up top and finishes at home right there. Cade will be throwing a lot of lobs to this man in the future. A lot of lobs to the both of them. Between Holland and Asuar, I mean, that's going to be an exciting front court if they can each learn how to shoot the basketball. And they brought in the shot doctor this offseason, so that's huge. But like we said, insane athletics, great defender as well. He uses that frame to his advantage, and we're about to talk about that, but get on that rim, Halliburton. This is the issue. When the defense can just pack the paint on him, he is completely ineffective, and he can't play closing minutes. He knocked down the three that time, but 19% is obviously not good. His versatility and his value is as a defender right now, elite clamp god. Watch him come from the Hornet logo and swat this into the stands. He was all the way across the court, and he made up and recovered to get that out of here. PJ Washington, hope you're having fun in Dallas. Now watch him in trail coverage here on Zach LaVine. Step back, and he still gets the swat. He's coming off of a screen and playing from behind, coming off that hip, and then he knocks it away, gets the steal. Once again, recovery on Josh Giddey there. That will not happen. And then watch this series, this sequence against one of the best young scorers in the NBA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He has to rush that release. It ends up being short. And then next time down, he gets the first step on him, but Asuar recovers and swats it back to half court. Tries to get into that little turnaround mid-range game. Goes in and out. Good defense there by Asuar. There was a hand there to contest. And then once again, Shai tries to play that momentum game, that slow it down game, and Asuar's having none of it. Now, as for Cade, he is going to cook next year. He's going to have the time of his life with a couple more shooters added to the rotation, as well as Fontecchio being back. And he's just going to be able to facilitate next year like he never has before. Tough little lay right there. 22.7 points per game for Cade. 7.5 assists, 4.3 rebounds, and 1 steal last year. And I think people have forgotten really how good Cade Cunningham is. Yes, he only shot 45% from the field and 36% from three, which is not ideal, obviously. But he's still a pretty solid young point guard. Pretty solid. That's probably underdoing it a little bit. He's a really, really solid young point guard. I mean, 23 and 7.5 for a 22-year-old is not common. Yes, it was on a losing team, but I think he's going to take a huge step up this year and lead this Pistons team to 20 wins for the first time in a few years. But if you've made it this far into the video and you have not already, make sure to like button and leave me a comment down below, as well as hitting that subscribe button. As you can see here, a large majority of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get back to the video, looking at the new acquisitions, the new shooters that they have added to this squad, with Michael Beasley being the first one coming over from the Milwaukee Bucks. He averaged about 11.3 points per game, 3.7 rebounds, 1.4 assists in 30 minutes per game last year for the Bucks. And really solid shooter, only shot 44% from the field, which is, that's about average, but 41% from 3 on 7 attempts, well above average. And he's a guy, corner specialist right here, very quick release, and he can create off the bounce a little bit, not for others, more so for himself. But they signed him to a 1-year, $6 million deal, and that's just an absolute steal for a guy coming to, that's more of a prove-it deal than anything, but I like that deal a lot for both the Pistons and Beasley. Now for Tim Hardaway Jr., he averaged 14.5 points per game last year for Dallas, 3.2 rebounds, 1.8 assists in 27 minutes. They more so traded him to get his salary off the books so they can make a couple of extra moves at the deadline. But he only shot 40% from the field, 35% from 3 on 8 attempts a game. So not the most efficient guy in the world, but definitely a microwave scorer and maybe somebody that comes off the bench for him, or maybe he doesn't even play. I don't know. But Tobias Harris definitely will be a starter, in my opinion. Kind of the stretch for the forward that Detroit has been looking for quite some time now. They tried James Wiseman and Marvin Bagley. That duo, for some reason, didn't work out. I don't know why. Obviously, that's sarcasm, but 17.2 points a game, 6.5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 steal last year for Tobias Harris in Philadelphia. 48% shooting from the field, 35% from 3 on 3.7 attempts in 34 minutes a game. Very veteran, battle-tested guy. He's already been in Detroit once, so he's coming back. And they get him on a pretty solid contract. 2 years, $52 million. He's getting his money, but they're not really paying anybody else. The Cade extension will kick in soon. Some of the other guys' extensions will kick in soon. But as for now, they can give that money out to guys like Tobias Harris. And this, I think, was one of the best deals of the offseason for Detroit. Bringing back Fontecchio, who in 16 games for them last year averaged 15.4 points per game, 4.4 rebounds, 1.8 assists a night, while shooting 43% from the three-point line on 6 attempts, 48% from the field overall. And I think he was a great addition at the deadline coming over from the Jazz. Very underrated addition, if you will. And they gave him on 2 years, $16 million. This is a good forward in the prime of his career that can really shoot the 3 ball to add around Cade. Beautiful addition there. As for Jaden Ivey, where does he fit into everything? Because I don't think he starts unless maybe they move Malik to the 3 and start Jaden at the 2, I think he comes off the bench as a microwave type guy, and I think Tim Hardaway Jr. is the odd guy out here because I think they go Sasser and Ivey off the bench. But I think Ivey can be a great 6th man for them. Obviously not the most efficient guy in the world, but 15.4 points, 3.8 rebounds, 3.4 assists in 29 minutes a game last year. The efficiency obviously was the big issue, where he only shot at 43% from the field and 34% from 3 on 4.8 attempts. But I expect that to come up, and I think he will thrive as a 6th man. That's a tough fall-away jumper there. He can come in, run the second unit like he did in college. I don't think the fit next to Cade was ever that great. If they start him, I'll be surprised. But I think Jaden Ivey comes off the bench. And then they also have their big here of the future in Jalen Duren, 13.8 points a game, 11.6 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 28 minutes a game. Great pick and roll partner for Cade Cunningham right now as a young center in this league. 62% shooting from the field, 0.8 blocks as a 20-year-old. Very good stuff from the man himself, Jalen Duren. And then, of course, for Cade Cunningham, I think this is his prove-it year. You bring in all these shooters. You bring back Fontecchio, all on great deals. I love this offseason so far for the Pistons. I like the Holland addition. I think it's a great upside pick. You have your guards, your 3 guards like the Pacers have. You have your 2 bigs. You have your wings now. I love this offseason for the Pistons. Y'all let me know your thoughts, though, down in the comment section below. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit the like button. We're trying to hit about 200 likes on today's video. And hit that subscribe button. And with all that being said, thanks so much for watching today's video.